So today I want to go through just some closing mistakes that are costing you thousands of dollars. I know we all talk about like what to do in the close, this and that, but I think there's some crucial mistakes that some people make that are costing them money. So I'm going to go through 4 or 5 mistakes that I see, especially new closers make. And then even experienced ones, I think there's some stuff that we can do a little bit different to give us more success in the home. Okay, so if you guys are ready for some closing mistakes. All right, so we'll get this part started. So here's mistake number 1, and that is not being prepared for your appointments. Hey, I say this, and a lot of these are things I had to learn the hard way. Because I'm a guy that I like to do a lot of same days. I like to just kind of wing it sometimes, and you can get by to a point, but there's been some costly mistakes I've made that I'm like, man, maybe I should show up a little more prepared to the appointment. Maybe I should have the proposal actually made out. Sometimes we don't always have the bill for the appointment, so especially those ones, I got in the habit of just showing up and figuring it out. But you guys see now there's so many different portals we need to know. There's so many different, panel types, batteries. And I had one recently, so I'll tell you guys this story. This was a customer. I closed her last week. And it was a referral. It was like a 10 kilowatt system. Actually a referral from my neighbor who was their landlord. And so I went to the house. Everything was good. But I made a couple crucial mistakes, and I was going to close it through GoodLeap, right? A lot of you probably use GoodLeap, and I was doing GoodLeap LIS. But the big mistake I made was this. I quoted her, thought I was giving her like a killer deal, and I quoted her using the Q-cell batteries. Okay, and if you guys don't know this, here's the mistake I made is that we can't use the Q-cell batteries with GoodLeap. I thought we could. And the Q-cell batteries, it's a lot cheaper than the Enphase ones, right? I mean, I think it's like a $4,000 difference or something. So I was quoting her with the Q-cell 20 kilowatt battery, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm making good commission on this, giving her a great deal. And then I go to submit it, and then I get this error, and it's like saying, oh, you can't, wrong equipment selected. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm texting people, finally text Zach. If you guys don't have Zach's number, the guy's a great resource. I always have like my emergency contacts for when I get stuck in a deal. I'm texting Zach, and he loads things up. He's like, oh, this is why you selected the Q-cell battery. And he's like, you're going to have to re-sign it with the Enphase batteries. And he gets it all fixed. But then I look at the adder sheet and I'm like, it's extra $4,000 basically to use those batteries. I'm like, oh my gosh. So this mistake, I mean, you guys know once you give a customer a price, it's like you can't really go back and change it, right? Because you can't really go back and like reverse course and be like, oh, you know what, we got to charge you a lot more. So I'm like, what do I do? And so I go and I just kind of panicking, right? Because we're in the deal. I don't want to like look unprofessional. I don't want to lose the deal. And it had already taken a while. It had already been like 20 minutes going back and forth with Zach while the customer's just sitting there. So I finally transitioned to Better Earth, and I went to I switched it to Light Reach Better Earth, and ended up closing her through that. But the commission difference, it was like, I think about $3,000 difference on the commission. And so got her signed and everything. But long story short, I ended up losing three grand on this deal just because I wasn't prepared, and I didn't have my ducks in a row. I didn't have my stuff lined up. And didn't know my battery types, so it cost me. Because if I would have known, I mean, I could have signed her with Enphase, probably quoted her an extra $20 or whatever, and it would have been fine. But I can't like quote her $20 higher after I already showed her the price, right? So lost out some money. the good news is I think I can switch her to Good Leap on Better. I don't know why. I didn't really even look at it. I was kind of in the heat of the moment. So I just signed her with Light Reach. But the good news is I think I can switch her to Good Leap on Better Earth and at least make some of that commission back. But yeah, still not going to be as good as it was from the beginning. So that's the story. Yeah, that's right. Looks like a couple people have had some stuff like that, eat some cost. Yeah. And I gave her some options in the deal. I'm like, hey, we can, they're not letting me select this battery. It's a little bit higher wattage battery, higher quality battery, but it's going to cost a little bit more. And she's, of course, like, oh, well, no, I'd rather save more money if it's going to be the same guarantees and all that. And I'm like, okay. And then, yeah, just had to eat the cost. So hopefully you guys don't have to learn it the hard way as much as I did, okay? But that's what happened on that deal, and that's why the first mistake is make sure you are prepared for your deals. Make sure you know which batteries you're supposed to be selecting, especially if it's a installer or financer that you're not as familiar with. Make sure you look beforehand. Okay, what batteries can I select? What options? Another thing that happened recently is I had the wrong rate plan selected. So I had to go re-sign a customer with the correct rate plan. So yeah, just make sure you have your ducks in a row. Yeah, here's some stuff. Yep, have multiple proposals, know how to transition if they fail credit, know what panel type to use, what rate plans to select. That's what I was mentioning just barely. I had to select a whole different rate plan and go re-sign a customer, start from scratch because I had Edison selected instead of SDG&E. So make sure you have the right rate plan selected in Aurora if you're using that. And then, yeah, know the battery types. Okay, so costly lesson. Make sure you don't make it. That's mistake number 1. All right, and so let's get into mistake number 2. This is a kind of like a fundamental one. So hopefully most of you guys are doing this. That's right. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Thank you, Mr. Valentine. That's right. And so this one, you guys probably all know this already, but just writing down what you say. This is kind of like sales 101, right? When I started closing, I wasn't doing this. I was just showing some slides, whatever. I actually read a book called Closer Survival Guide by Grant Cardone. It's a classic book. You guys can read it if you haven't already. It's got a bunch of closes in there and just closing principles. So I would read it more for just kind of the general advice on closing. But one of the things that Grant Cardone says in there is that you should always have a pad of paper and just always be writing down everything. And that's because people believe what they see, not what they hear, right? And something fundamental, it's people are always going to want to see things. That's why I like using slicks on the doors too, because it's just so much more credible when they're seeing it. People believe it way more when they're seeing something with their eyes instead of just hearing it. Okay, so always carry a pen and a legal pad. Write down every detail. So probably a lot of you guys do the whole T-chart thing. Write down the difference in, write down what they're paying the utility, what they pay with solar. But I like writing down too, as you start talking about warranties, production guarantees, just every little thing. I think it just adds ammo, fuel to the fire, right? They see 25-year guarantee, see power production guarantee, anything that could be a benefit for them. I think it's good that they can see that, and it's just giving them more reasons to actually go solar. So yeah, that's mistake number 2, is not writing down what you say. Make sure you always carry a pad of paper and write down everything you're telling them so they can see with their own 2 eyes what's going on with it. All right, and mistake number 3 is not telling enough stories in your presentation. This is another thing. So stories just keep people more engaged, right? You guys see, you probably get bored when I just talk through slides and don't talk about anything else. So just in general, you should get in the habit of telling more stories. It looks like Rika says she has a closing sheet that has all this stuff on it. That's great. Everyone hit up Rika. I'm going to be hitting her up. It's probably better than what I got. So thank you, Rika. So yeah, if you guys don't have stories you're telling in your presentation, they say facts tell, stories sell. You guys have probably all heard that. So get in the habit, whatever point you're trying to make in your presentation, have a story to go with it, right? I just told you guys a story about how I lost commission, and hopefully you guys are going to remember that mistake more because I told a story, right? It's the same for the customer. If you can tell them a story, they're going to remember it better. They're going to be paying more attention, and they're going to get more emotionally bought in to what you say. Solar, it's a pretty logical thing, right? And it's easy to get in the habit of just saying, oh, your bill's going to be lower. This is so logical, and think that people are just going to do it because of that. But the reality is, if people don't get bought in emotionally, it's just always tougher to get the close, right? You guys have probably heard people buy it with emotion and they justify it with logic. So I think that's true. You got to get them emotionally bought in through the stories you tell, and then have them justify it with logic. All right. So I'll show you guys an example. Yep, here's just another couple things to go with it. So I have a story for every objection you encounter. Use fill, felt, founds. If you don't know what that is, I teach this to all our setters on the doors. It's like, oh, I understand. The other family I helped out, the Joneses, they actually felt the exact same way. They were really concerned with having to pay a bunch of money out of pocket. But what they found is with this, they're not paying a dime. They don't win the lottery. They don't take out of their checkings account. They're just getting a lower monthly bill on their electricity. So it actually helped them out a lot compared to everything else they'd looked at before. So things like that, I think this can work in the close too. And then I like to just keep a section in your notes in your phone. Just put down every story. If you have a good interaction with a customer, or maybe you're selling an engineer that had all these crazy questions, then write that down, right? Because you can use it in your future sales. Maybe you got an accountant that's crunching numbers like crazy. Then when you have someone that's giving you a hard time about numbers, yeah, this reminds me, I actually helped another family, and the husband was an engineer, the wife was an accountant, so they just dug in like crazy to the numbers. They pulled up 10 spreadsheets, broke down everything, and this is why they decided this program worked better than just paying cash or whatever you want to demonstrate to the customer. So I have stories like that, and it just helps out so much. So I have one. If you guys aren't using recordings, and we'll talk about this more, but for me, I record every close I go into so I can learn from it. Okay, so this is one that I did just the other day. Let's see. That wasn't even really a great example, but just some way you can illustrate to them. It's yeah, we've helped a lot of people. They had the same concern. We helped another lady. It would have been even better if I would have brought up a specific example. But bringing up something like that to illustrate it, because you see the difference, I can just say, yeah, this goes up 300, or this goes up only 3%. STG is going up 12%. And yeah, look at the difference. That's good. But instead, if you can get in the habit of having some way to illustrate it, yeah, we've helped a lot of people where they didn't even save money. So it's why would they do that? So Mr. Customer, here's why they're doing it. It's because they know, yeah, they can use more power. They know that they're going to be locked. They're going to save much more money over time. They know they're going to have the peace of mind, knowing that they know exactly what the bill is 5 years down the road, versus we have no idea what it could be 5 years down the road with SDG&E, right, or with Edison. So yeah, that's the third mistake is, okay, yep, Earl to Pearl. SDG&E went up 115%. It's been increasing 15% on average. Yep, that's fire. So yeah, if you can say stuff like that, give them the logic, but then yeah, tie it in with some type of story, you guys are gonna crush it in the home. It's gonna be so much easier. All right, and then speaking of recording your deals, this is the fourth mistake. That's not analyzing your game film. So I would bet if you guys are currently recording your closes, drop a thumbs up emoji, or drop a raise hand emoji. I would be surprised if everyone here is recording their deals. But yeah, let's see if anyone is doing that. Drop some type of emoji so we know. But in my experience, it's very few people that are doing this, actually recording your closes, trying to learn from it. Okay, good. DDD with Vili says he's going to be doing it now. Okay, love it. So most people aren't doing this. Okay, and this is what separates the top guys from average closers, I think, is you think of Michael Jordan, you think of Kobe, you think they're just showing up to games, game after game after game, and not learning from it. No, they were in the film room. They're breaking down, if this guy's, if we set the pick here, I need to go here, need to take the shot here. Like, they're breaking down the game film. So if you want to be a top closer in this industry, you need to be recording your closes. You need to be analyzing what went well, what can be improved on. Right? There's this thing called an after action review. They do this in the military, but that's every like operation they do in the military. They have this after action review where they go see, okay, what went well, what can be improved, what didn't go well, and they break it down and they learn from it. Right? So some of us were expecting to make 300, 400, 500,000 in this industry, but Earl Pearl knows. Yep, he knows about these. Michael's recording all Jack closes. That's a smart thing to do. Man, I'm gonna pay Michael some money for Jack's closes. Love to get my hands on some of those. But yeah, that's another thing. If you guys are newer at closing, I would definitely recommend doing that. Go follow like a Jack. Go follow someone that's having a lot of success. Say, hey, can I record your close? And then that's the best way I learned closing in the beginning. Is I would just go record our top closers. I would listen to it in the gym. I would listen to it on the way to area, and that just jump started my closing way quicker than anything else that I could do. So I would get in the habit of this. We use an app called Zero. That's what I was showing you guys, and it's really good. It just breaks it all down. It lets you share it with the team, and yeah, it gives you the transcripts, which I showed this in one of our closing trainings the other day. But even if you don't have a Zero, this costs money and everything, but you can just record on the voice memos on your iPhone, and it'll actually like break it down. I think it gives you a whole transcription now, even just on voice memos. And if you want to take it to another level, you can download the text either from audio or from your voice memos. You can drop it into ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, hey, act as my sales coach. Tell me what I could have done better. Could I have overcome objections better? Give me suggestions to improve my sales presentation for solar. And ChatGPT will give you a whole analysis, pretty much tell you you sucked. It's going to make you feel terrible for a little bit. But if you guys want to improve, use AI to your advantage. Have it analyze your closes, and you're going to see a massive difference. You're going to improve super quick. Okay. So go try it. Go try that. Not a lot of people are doing that. All right. So that's mistake number 4. All right. And then we got a couple more here, guys, and then we'll get in some questions if you guys have any questions as we wrap up here. But the last couple, mistake number 5 is not doing a solid pre-frame. All right. And the pre-frame, you guys probably all know about the preframe, but that's just setting the expectations of the presentation, right? And this was, I think, the biggest mistake I made as a new closer is just not telling them what was going to happen in the close, right? And so what I've been doing now, I'll play just another example because you got to have urgency in there too. Let's see. So this was another close from couple weeks back. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So this guy, he was a little bit hesitant, but once I explained to him what was going to happen in the presentation and why he needed to do this, why he needed to do it now, it's like he was basically sold after that point. He's like, oh, wow, I better get on this quick. And it's not going to work that way necessarily with everybody, but something like this, we just play the example here. Okay, so how about that for a buying question? Right, you guys see what he's asking? He's like, oh, if we were to agree to it and sign it now, it's effective now, even though it's not installed yet. I mean, if they're asking you that, they're pretty much sold. It's like, it's like you just gotta have a decent presentation after that, and you're in. But this is what I've been doing. You guys should all be taking advantage right now of the bill that passed. It's just like this. It's like stealing candy from a baby right now, right? We have so much urgency. So many reasons they should do it now. So if I were you guys, I would be just pounding this like crazy. And you go through your fact finding, you ask them what they know about solar, then you bring up the pre-frame. So you frame it with urgency. Hey, Mr. Customer, so right now, just to let you know, we're in 4 or 5 of these a day. And just because, I don't know if you heard, but the big, beautiful bill passed with Trump, right? I'm not trying to get political, but unfortunately, they're taking away majority of incentive to go solar. So that's why so many people are trying to add on panels and get a piece of this pie. So what I do with you today is obviously we'll make sure it makes sense, but if it does, then we're going to submit an application, and then that will grandfather you guys into the rates and the current incentives that we have before they go away. Because, they're going away quick. We just need to make sure we can get them locked in. Okay, so that's my goal today with you. As long as it looks good, we're going to be getting an application in, fill out a couple forms so we can get the process started. But if it doesn't look good, then don't do anything. And then just get them to agree to that. If you add in the urgency, it'll work way better. I used to just say, hey, at the end of this, we're going to get our application in, and that was fine. But I've noticed that if you add in the reason why they should get it in, add in the urgency, then you're just going to have so much more success because you're actually giving them a reason, right? You're giving them an external factor why they should want to do this now and why you're with so many people now. So try that, and it's just going to make it so much smoother at the ends, and that way they can't hit you with, oh, I need to think about, oh, I don't want to do this now. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, I mean, you guys can wait, but like I said, we just have to get an application in because these things are changing like crazy. So, and then it's, a lot easier to get them bought in at the end once you've framed it correctly in the beginning. Okay, so something like that. And make sure you have that solid pre-frame. All right, and then last mistake here, guys, then we'll get into some questions if you guys have any, is not using enough social proof. Okay, you guys, that especially San Diego office people, you guys have seen that I like to just use a ton of social proof, like photos with customers. My guy DDD with Billy, I see him doing a lot of this stuff too, getting like photo, video content with his customers. I think that's great. If you guys can get a picture or a video, I think I have some examples here. So this is what I do. Keep like a testimonial folder in your, like a photo album with all your pictures and videos with customers. Have a CRM. I keep all that organized with my customers. And then I have a document that shows customers by area. I haven't done this, but as I was thinking about this, and this is a good idea to use Canvas, use the list feature in Canvas to keep a list of all your customers in there. I think that's a great idea. If you can do this, it just makes it so much easier. People believe, people want to keep up with the Joneses. People see what their neighbors are doing. Yeah, here's the CRM I use. Let's see. So I use one called CRMX. Hit me up if you guys want. We can intro you to this, but this is nice because you can keep all your customers organized in there. You can keep them organized by which stage they're in. And then you just have like a database of everyone. Have ones that are PTO granted. Got the addresses, can search them, can text them through here. So having some type of CRM helps with the organization, and then having a photo album. Not sure how to share that on here, but yeah, just make a photo album with all your customer testimonials. And this will help you a lot, just even knocking doors. All the time when I'm knocking doors, I'll pull up, photos, videos with customers. Yeah. So I went through on a map and I showed this guy all his customers or all his neighbors that are going solar. And he's like, "Oh, wow, you're taking over my neighborhood." I'm like, "Yeah, where a lot of people are wanting to do it. Here's why." And then, I pulled up like the photos. I actually pulled up like photo, video with the people that are going solar. He's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen them around there." And like once he recognized some people, it's like all the credibility just went through the roof. It's like he believed me after that. It was a real thing. He was like, "Oh, solar now. It's like I'm gonna have to pay a bunch of money for this." Brought up all the other people and done deal. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Rika. He was a brother. Yeah, he was a cool dude. Super chill black guy. So and it's going to depend on the personality type, because I know we all run into those people that are like, the bull type personalities, and sometimes the social proof stuff not going to work as well on those type of people. But if you can get the people that maybe they're just a little bit hesitant, or like they're social guys, and but they just have doubts or whatever, you've probably all heard like Mike and John's training on this, on like the different personality types of customers. So if you haven't heard that training, it's a really good training, just talking about like the bulls, the sheep, the owl, all that type of stuff. So these type of testimonials and all that, it works way better on like, I think it's the lamb personality. There's the two that are like, tigers and lambs. I mean, these things, it works super well. The other ones like owls and bulls may not work as well, still can help, but just keep that in mind. That's especially for those personality types, if you can be showing them the social proof, that's going to make your job so much easier. Okay, and so I think that's pretty much it, guys. Just some mistakes that I've seen a lot of, and some ways that you can take your closing to another level. So hopefully this helps you guys out today. So one more time, mistake number 1, just not being prepared for your appointments. Number 2, not writing down what you say. Number 3, not telling enough stories in your presentation. Number 4, not analyzing your game film, not doing a solid preframe, and not using enough social proof. So if you guys change some of those things, your closing ratio will go up. You will get more referrals. You'll make your job easier in the home. I promise you. So hopefully you guys can all do those things. Take your closing to another level. Okay, so that's all I had to share with you guys. So we'll take, if anyone has questions, 1 or 2 questions, we can take a question or 2. If not, we can wrap up, but we'll give it a minute or 2 if anyone had a question, just to finish up here. Okay, well, cool. Looks like there's no questions. So appreciate you guys. Go shoot me a follow if you have not heard the podcast already. Solarpreneur, we're coming at you with more tips, tricks, and advice. Yes, my birthday tomorrow. Thank you, Rika. So my birthday present, if you guys have not already subscribed to the podcast, go give it a follow. And your boy will be bringing you more heat as always. But yeah, let's get out there today. Let's go close some deals. Let's push hard for the cup, and we'll see you guys on the scoreboard. Thanks again for showing up to the call today.